If you are looking to build a routine that is going to help you to stay consistent and change your life, then you want to make sure you stay tuned for this video. I am coming at you from a place of experience. I just took on a challenge in the year of 2025 to change my life in a matter of 3 months. And there is so much that I've learned along this journey. So we're going to get straight into these tips without wasting any time. The first tip that I have is to make you a part of your routine. There is so much information that we're taking in on a daily basis. There's so much inspiration that we're getting from YouTube and TikTok on how to create a routine and how to change our lives. But it means nothing if it has no meaning and value for you. So it is important that regardless of what you're doing and what it is that you're looking to change, get inspiration from these platforms like YouTube and TikTok. But remember, your goals and your vision for your life has to come from you. So for instance, if one of your goals is to focus on mindset, what specifically is it that you're looking to work on and change in terms of mindset? Are you looking to have a more positive outlook on life? Because if so, maybe you need to prioritize saying positive affirmation or doing a gratitude journal. But if by mindset you simply mean you want to grow your expansion and your understanding about life or yourself, then maybe you need to prioritize more reading. So this is one of the reasons why it's important for you to add you into your routine and to think about what specifically it is that you're looking to gain from your routine and your goals, and exactly how specifically are you looking to change your life so that you can focus your routine and your habits around that. The second tip that I have for you is to define your why. The reason why this is so important is because there are going to be so many days that you just don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to read the book, you don't want to say your affirmation, you don't want to do the things that you know are going to help you change your life. So defining your why is giving you purpose and intention. It is adding fuel to be the motivation to get you up out of bed when you don't want to get out of bed, to get you doing the tasks that you need to do when you don't feel like doing it. I was listening to this video by Sienna. I don't fully remember her name, but I'll either put it on the screen or put it down below in the description box. And one of the things that she was saying in regards to defining your why is to think about your ancestors. And I know this is so super deep right now, but yes, we are going there. Sometimes you really have to go in that bag in order to find things that are going to get you up out of bed in an instance and without a second thought. So she was talking about your ancestors and how basically your ancestors didn't have maybe the same freedom of choice or the freedom to do the things that they desire to do in their life. And that is a huge motivation to get up, because when you think about the fact that there are people around you, even if it's not your ancestors, understand that there are people around you that don't have a choice. When you think about other countries where they have arranged marriages and things like that, those are places where their life is already orchestrated for them. You have the power and the freedom of choice to decide what it is that you want to do and when it is that you want to do it. So take full advantage of that and use that as motivation to help you to think of other whys that you might have that are important for you and that are going to get you out of bed. It could be your parents. Maybe you genuinely want to retire your parents. So every time that you're laying in bed and you're like 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, you pull up that list of whys and you see, I'm trying to retire my mom, and me laying in bed right now is not helping me retire my mom. Whatever the thing is for you, it's important for you to have this list on hand. I would say put it in your notes, put it somewhere where you know you can access it in those moments that you're really going to need it. The third tip that I have for you is your environment. Your environment plays a huge role in how successful you're going to be, you'll be capable of being when it comes to being consistent and also bringing change into your life. Now, there are two aspects to your environment. Your environment can literally mean your physical environment. So things like making sure that your place is clean, right? Making sure that there's not a lot of clutter and chaos around you, because if there's a lot of physical chaos around you, then how can you think? Your physical environment is a reflection of your insides. So it's important that you maintain a clean, clear, minimal, if possible, physical environment so that you have the clarity that you need internally to be able to make whatever decisions it is that you need to make that are in alignment with the version of yourself that you're looking to become. Now, the other aspect of this is your friends, your connections, your relationships, the people that you speak to on a daily basis. It is important that you avoid being in harsh environments that are not helping you and supporting you toward the change that you desire in your life, because it's going to make it much harder for you to get toward your goals if you have people working against you and telling you you can't do that, you're not capable of doing that, I don't think that you can do this. If you have these naysayers in your life, then it is taking away fuel and energy from you that you could otherwise be pouring into changing your life. The fourth tip that I have for you is to start small. Now, I just told y'all that I just took on this whole challenge and created this whole series on YouTube to change my life in 90 days. And I did not start small. And I am telling you from experience, if you can start small, it is much easier to focus more of your energy on changing one thing versus trying to juggle several things at a time. When you think about the act of juggling, you start with one thing, you start with two things, you start with three things, and gradually you start increasing and adding more things into the mix. So it is much easier for you to focus all of your energy on one task or one thing or one area of your life versus spreading yourself thin. So an example of this would be if you're looking to start meditating. Maybe if you're starting out meditating, you don't start with 30 minutes a day. Maybe you just start with trying to show up 5 minutes a day. And after you've experienced success in showing up for 5 minutes a day, let's just say for a week or for 21 days, then you can increase the amount of time that you're meditating. So it's better for you to ease your way into these practices versus having these big expectations for yourself and end up falling short. The fifth tip that I have for you is to create systems, not goals. What does that mean? A lot of times we think about these goals that we have, but we don't really have a system to get there. So step number one is, what are the goals that you have? Listing out the goals that you have. But now take it a step further by thinking about the systems that you need to create in order to support the goals that you have. So if you have a goal in your life to, let's just say, work out, and a part of working out is you want to gain 5 pounds, what is the system that is required for you to reach your goal? Meal prep. Maybe you can focus on prioritizing, make sure that you meal prep every Saturday or every Sunday your goals for the following week, to make sure that in addition to you showing up to the gym, when it comes to you reaching your specific goal of showing up to the gym to gain an extra 5 pounds, you focus on prioritizing meal prep, right? And then another example of this is, for instance, me trying to stay consistent with YouTube. Something that I have done is I have developed my Notion to essentially be a content creator resource for me. So it consists of a bunch of information. Like, for instance, there's a task list that I have in Notion of all the steps that I need to take to make sure that I'm hitting every single mark before posting my video. So it includes different things like making sure that I optimize my title, ways to optimize my title, just different things like that to take the guesswork and the thinking out of the goal that I have. And the last goal that I have for you guys is to prepare for failure and give yourself grace. Now, I know this sounds a little negative by saying to prepare for failure, but ultimately, we've heard this a million times. Progress is better than perfection. So what does that mean? Essentially, just understand that you're not always going to get everything right on the first time. And also, when you're building a routine, the idea or the understanding is this is something that you plan to do over a course of days, right? Whether this is a routine that you want to establish just on the weekends, or it's a routine that you want to establish during the weekdays, or maybe it's something that you want to establish every day. But understand that there are going to be some days where you don't show up, but it's important that you prepare for failure and give yourself grace, and understanding that you are trying to make an entire change to your life. And that's going to take time because you're constantly working against your old self. Every single day that you show up, you are essentially beating your old self. But there are some times where your old self is going to win. There are some times where you are going to stay in bed for the extra 5 minutes, or you're going to stay in bed for an hour. But it's important for you to remember that you're in the process of change. And sometimes old habits die hard, as they say. So give yourself grace and understand that if you were not successful one day, just hit the reset button the next day and pick it up again. Don't dwell in this space and this energy of failure. Just give yourself grace and understand that you are changing, that you're doing the work. And as long as you keep showing up every day, you are going to reach the goal. You are going to reach the desires, the pinnacle that you have of changing your life. And that is it, y'all. These are all the tips that I have for building a routine and changing your life. And just remember that consistency is not about getting it right every single time, okay? As long as you continue to show up, even after you fail, you will reach your desired goals. If you like this video, make sure that you like this video. And if you want to see a video of me going more in depth and building a routine out with you from start to finish, then just let me know down below in the comments and I'll give you that video, okay? I will see you on the next video.